What's up, Scorpio? This is Jesse with 44 Hour Show with a general tarot reading for the new moon coming up on December 12th. It will be at 20 degrees Sagittarius at 6:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be in the 21st mansion of the moon. I'll put a picture of it. You can read about it. It's really about managing anger and understanding anger, and then also like understanding that there are endings, and that and the new moon is about beginnings. So it's probably about, this could all be about endings and beginnings for people, like transformation. Generally, with it being Sagittarius, we're probably talking life philosophy will be changing in some way. You're contemplating a new philosophy in life, or the way you believe in life, or the way you believe it should be lived, that type of thing, like overall philosophy. For Scorpio ascendant, you're talking first or second house, depending on the degree of the ascendant, where it would fall. The first house would be the house of self. And you can be a Scorpio ascendant and have the house be the first house high enough to get into Sagittarius in order, depending on where it falls. Especially if it's at the end of Scorpio, it'd still be first house Sagittarius for the moon, because it's like 20 degrees. So first house would be house of self, like I said, changing your philosophies on life, what you think is justice, what you think, wisdom is, and like, maybe learning new things, like a new philosophy. And like, I'm going into the new year, I want to learn new things, new language, something like that. Second house is material possessions, of course. So it could just be a new philosophy, like I need to make more money. It could just be something like that. Because, when you're talking about a philosophy, it's not saying how you make money. It's like the whole kind of big picture of what you're trying to do, which would be make more money. So it could be something like that for sure. Or to gain more, gain more, to give more. It could even be that, because Sagittarius is all about that, like justice, the higher self, learning, stuff like that. Anyway, with that being said, this was the moon card that wanted to come out. This energy is gaining momentum, Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio too. So don't imagine if there's a little bias in here. So the energy is gaining momentum, Scorpio. I'm just going to do a Celtic cross because I've been working 6 days a week, 2 different jobs. I'm trying to make sure I have a lot for Christmas. So I don't really have a ton of time to do readings, but there's not going to be any less love put into these, I promise. And I'll get back to doing it regularly again in January-ish. After the new year, after all the busy time starts to calm down. So I'm just going to do a Celtic cross instead of my normal thought spread. So that'd probably be a 10-minute reading instead of a 20 to 30 minute. Oop, right there. Could be earth sign involved. It's being crossed by plans of some sort. There's worry. A lot of worry here. I know I worried during the holidays so far, especially about money. I'm not going to say I don't worry about money. That's why I'm working 2 different jobs. Not that I don't have enough money, but I want extra to pay for everything extra I'm going to have to do. Looks like it has to do with money, or it has to do with an earth sign in your life, or you could have earth in your chart. Looks like maybe you want to be like this, opulent with like all the money and all the power type thing. But it's being crossed by your own plans. Like maybe your plans aren't working out, and maybe that's your plan. That's the cross, is that specific plan isn't, you're being crossed from either this person didn't work out to plan kind of thing, like an individual in your life. You're being like, their plans got in the way, or your plans got in the way. Or if you're trying to be this, there's some kind of plans that are getting in the way. Or there hasn't been enough preparation. Because right now it looks like in the future there's going to be worry of money. I mean, of course, we're all spending a bunch of extra money on Christmas. I imagine we're all at least focusing on money to some extent. In the conscious mind, like on your mind, kind of, you're trying to be passionate about what you do. It's like you want to be seen as someone who like is cultured, like is passionate about what they talk about, what they feel about, that type of thing. And the unconscious, what you're not really necessarily paying attention to, is you're a superstar. Like it's in there. You just got to find it. It's saying like, hey, you are the sun. Like you're supposed to stand out, or you can stand out, or you will stand out, but you have to find it. And I imagine it's somewhere on the other side of this worry. And on the other side of that worry in your environment is truth. Absolute truth, unadulterated. Sometimes the truth can be very painful, or not so much painful, but difficult to admit to ourselves, because it doesn't really fit the narrative of what we thought it was supposed to be. Doesn't mean you can't still get the results you want. It just might not be along the exact same narrative that you planned, type of thing. Behind you have the happy home card. It's like either you've already done this or this was a celebration that you went to. Maybe you spent too much money on the celebration, specifically Christmas, right? Then it could be definitely something like that, and you feel like you're kind of tightening up the butt buckle because you're like, man, I spent too much money on people on Christmas. But it's good to give. That's what this time of year is all about. Sacrificing of what you could have for yourself to give to others. That's what Saturn's all about. So our Christmas falls during the time of Saturn. Okay, so right now, you're the moon. This is your current situation. So you may be having like vivid dreams. You may be like feeling real psychic connected. I mean, it's that time of year, and Scorpio is very psychic sign. So you may be having premonitions, dreams. You may feel really connected right now in some way, or you feel like it's all kind of an illusion, and you're like, oh, you're confused, and you're like, oh man, I spent too much money. Why'd I do this? Blah blah. But this is in your environment. So if this is in your environment, this is going to cut through all of that. But it still looks like, and in the advice you have this card, which is not seeing what's going on or be worried about what's going to happen. It's saying don't worry about what's going to happen, or the outcome is going to be this. It could be bad dreams. You could be having bad dreams. With the moon in this card, you could be having bad dreams right now. Something's scaring you. But you gotta cut through that with truth. You gotta be rational about it. Trace the pathology. Try to figure out why you dream what you dream, or why you're thinking the way you are. I mean, it's a choice to think a specific way and then to have specific feelings about those thoughts. The thoughts a lot of times will trigger the feelings. And sometimes feelings can trigger the thoughts too. It kind of goes both ways. But if a lot of mental energy here, so it suggests maybe that you're having specific thoughts and it's triggering specific emotions. And you don't want to get on that pattern, because you can think, you can actually steer it in a different direction. You need to understand why it's happening, and you want to feel it to some extent and understand the pathology and kind of acknowledge why it happened, trace it back to what it needs to be traced back to. And then over time, the more you do that, you'll just kind of outgrow it, and you won't have the necessity. And once you're making conscious choices to dissect and understand it, then you can move forward and grow. And then you can kind of create that narrative that you want rather than the one that has been like unconsciously manifesting. But anyway, I think it's going to be okay. It's saying the energy is gaining momentum. So I believe that you're about to cut through all this. You're going to think it out. The holidays will end. You'll stop having to spend money. So you'll be back to the normal pace of things, and just normal bills that we all pay, instead of the extra ones that we put upon ourselves during this time of year where we buy people a lot of stuff. Anyway, with that being said, that's all I have, Scorpio. Please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting. You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm just grateful that you're here for the view. And with that being said, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that good stuff. Happy New Year, and I hope to see you here again. Thank you.